State of the Market Show. I am Mark Sebastian, your only option, and we have a lot to talk about. The bond twist that's failing markets, debt now over $40 trillion. Is Trump into kitty cats? Walmart crushes earnings and gets crushed. Baba, an AI victim? Is Hans safe from tariffs? And Vaz is here with charts, and we have a round of volume profiles by request. It's an action-packed show. We got a lot to cover. So, Amin, let's roll some credits. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the State of the Market. Reminder, we're here live with you every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you're watching me on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you're watching us on X, give us a heart, give us a retweet. Better yet, join us here. Shoot my team an email, support@opship.com, and come check us out. If you're here with me live, make sure you stick around because immediately following the State of the Market, I'm going to be going into the second day of our season of the short squeeze. And we have a lot to talk about when it comes to short squeezes. We even have one or two that are starting to show a pattern that they may squeeze as early as today or tomorrow. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's start with these markets. The S&P is down 22 points. The Dow down 0.7%, call it 360 points. NASDAQ down about 0.5%. The Russell taking the brunt of it, down 0.8. And equal weight down, 80 cents, good for, 0.33%. So this sell-off, unlike yesterday, is broad. Most of the sectors are down, albeit not that much. To start the day, we have biotech's down 2.6, housing down 2.3, materials are flat, communications are flat, energy is up, and then you get read out of the financials, the industrials, technology down but flat, and consumer staples even down. Little love out it for utilities, healthcare. Consumer discretionary down, and retail is down as well. So, like I said, pretty broad across all the major sectors that the market is down. So that is what you are looking at. What is the driver of that? Guess what? It's the bond market. Yesterday, we watched as the 10-year drop down as low as 4.65, and we saw the 30-year get briefly down below 5.2. Well, they're right back, just under 5.25 for the 30-year, and back over 4.7 for the 10-year. Just to kind of put these things in something that you can view a little more visually. Here's the 10-year. As you can see, we had this big red down day where everyone said, hey, maybe this intervention is going to work. Nope, we scooped it right back. Believe it or not, yields got higher than the high of the previous day. So there continues to be some downward pressure on bonds and upward pressure on yields. The Treasury intervention clearly did not have a lasting effect, and that is giving the market some major issues. The CME FedWatch tool is actually moving. What's interesting is long-term rates, the market's problems are signaling that there's some longer term stuff going on. That back end of the curve is getting higher. Well, the U.S. crossed 40 trillion in debt yesterday. You mix that debt with all the debt coming out of these AI centers, and we have a sea of debt. We have a sea of debt. And yet at the same time, if you look at the CME FedWatch tool, the odds of a rate cut or a rate hike are dropping and dropping dramatically for the September meeting, which is the 16th, 2 days before quadruple witching. So there continues to be some issues there. You have this combo of just debt being dumped into the market. And at the same time, we have some stubborn inflation, notably on the energy, at the core is energy, right? USO, or, if you want to look at crude oil futures, you can see we have an energy problem. Crude is back to $86 a barrel. We get over 90, and that's going to really put some pressure into the bond market. So remember how this goes. And yes, we're going to use some paint. All right. You have the yen carry trade, right? We're basically short JPY. All right. And then we're long US treasuries. So we're collecting the interest. And then we're taking that interest, those payments, and we buy US stocks. We take those dollars and we buy US stock. All right. And then you have the petrodollar, which is Japan, needs to buy USD so they can then buy crude. So we have so they're selling to buy. So we have two different functions putting pressure on the yen and putting strength of their US dollar. And that is really the core of our issue here, folks. That is the core of our issue. Continue to look at overall markets, and the bond market is really the crux. This failed twist is a problem because we got some relief. Notice what happened over the last couple of days to the S&P 500. Right? Get kind of a little bit of a jump because rates are really bottoming out. Get a nice rally that fails on Wednesday, and now we're actually lower than where we were on Tuesday. Now, we've got a lot of work to do to even get to the fourth day of that parabolic run up. But we are unwinding that. That would put us at 76.30. Next stop below there, 7,600. And, then all bets are off. And we could be talking about another run at, 7,300, 7,400, something in like that range. All right. And what is that doing? Notice VIX is picking up. I felt pretty confident we were going to have a slow week and VIX was going to get smoked. The bond market had other ideas. All right, 2 earnings that came out. Walmart. Walmart absolutely had nice earnings. They made money. Sales were a little slower. They raised guidance, profit targets raised, and the stock is down $10. Target also releasing earnings, was down nicely earlier. Let me get this a little tighter. Was up nicely on Wednesday, giving some of that away today, but nice little rebound off the 9-day. Could end up green. I still think Target has big issues, and long term, they're going to be the Sears of the next Sears Holdings. Legacy name, people love, that kind of goes the way of the dodo. The other big earnings is Alibaba. And Alibaba is down because they are AI spending. Spend up 75%. And lo and behold, it's AI. What do you know? Chinese Amazon has U.S. Amazon issues. Where it's sitting, if it can hold its footing here, you could see if it can hold this footing at the 21-day, get back over the 9, maybe it can lift up, but right now it doesn't look particularly strong. All right, next on my list, hyper liquid strategies. Now, this was a fun one. And I'm going to put this in a chart on the hourly, because I want you to see what happened. This is yesterday's chart. Can you tell when Donald Trump made his announcement? Here, I'm going to go to the 30-minute. Can you tell when Donald Trump made his announcement that they may become a regulated entity and actually be able to set up shop in the United States? Can anyone tell? Now, hyperliquid, not easy to borrow. 0% borrow rate. Not a ton of stock to borrow, but some. But it wasn't really a squeeze candidate until some news hit. It shorted, but not like ridiculously shorted, like, let's say, a Hertz Global. But then you get the president coming out and saying some positive things. What does that do? There are automated programs that buy everything the president likes, shoots it higher. The shorts see what just came out, and they go, I don't want to be short this thing anymore, and they cover their butts. So another member of the season of the squeeze is now Hyperliquid Strategies, ticker symbol. And what was interesting is, they're kind of a stable coin based exchange for swapping contracts. Sent SIBO Global lower pretty significantly. It's made a chunk of that back, but the stock dropped from 294 down to 274 over the course of an hour. It's now back to 290. CME didn't like the news either. And the ICE exchange wasn't so happy itself. Interestingly, DraftKings kind of ignored. But this is like I said, this is an exchange that uses Hype as its token, but it's a stable coin that you can then use to execute transactions. And currently all their transactions are overseas. They're trying to get them regulated here in the United States. And clearly, nice move on that. And Pretty crazy move up for per, and a very ugly move lower for some of the exchanges. Now, I've never looked at hype. But, you can see when Hyperbit Technologies Inc., I don't think this is what I'm looking for. So I'd never heard of the hype. Here you go. So you can actually see here's Hyperliquid getting that big rally. This is the crypto they trade. It actually had a nice rally on that news as well, hype. So some interesting stuff. That appeared to give a nice boost to Bitcoin, which is getting a really strong rally here, folks. Now, I'm not fully sure where this rally is coming from. Could be related to inflation and the debt levels of the United States. But it's recently it's been quite unusual to see Bitcoin up and the market down. It has acted very much like a measure of risk on tolerance. Like, what is the risk appetite of the market? And the last 2 days, it has moved the opposite of that. Now, we do have the Jackson Hole meeting next week. I'm going to bring in my crypto specialist, Greg, to kind of talk to us about all the things that could move it. Yeah, Alicia says the Clarity Act, a few other things like that. So we're going to have some of one of my friends that is deep in crypto come in and kind of break down what's happening with IBIT. But it is a really nice move here. And for it to be doing that in the face of the markets tells us, maybe there's a little more of that Clarity Act than just, a couple of small things for crypto. All right. Well, I want to talk about, these squeezes. It is the season of the squeeze. And again, immediately following this show, about half an hour or about 15 minutes, I'm going to be digging into session 2 of our season of the squeeze Alpha AI breakdown. I'm going to show you everything you need to know about short squeezes. Now, I did have a nice winner today, and this is from our wiretap service. On Monday, we saw a shadow trade in FIGR. We bought the August 35 calls. We paid $2, and I just sold them at $3.70 this morning. Good for an 84% gain in 3 days. We've got a pretty good track record running on wiretap. My kind of partner in crime in the wiretap is, of course, our Pharaoh of the Fibonacci. She is the co-founder and CEO of Trade to Close LLC, the one behind the close, the game plan SPY, the game plan Q, the co-executor of Swing Shots. She is Olivia Vaz. Good morning, Olivia. How are you? What's happening, Vaz?
Hi, Mark. Hi, guys. What's up Thursday?
I see it's an Aviator Nation morning. Looking great. Like the color.
Yeah.
So Vaz, let's start with these charts. We both felt like it was going to be kind of a snoozer this week, and markets would meander high. And things have turned out to not be that way. It's not like we've got like major fireworks. The S&P's down less than 0.5%. But things are moving around. What are you seeing in your SPY charts?
You're so right, Marco. Even though percent-wise, it doesn't seem on paper that we're making a big move, technically speaking, there are some fireworks happening right now, slow fireworks, small fireworks, but we had this, really nice bull flag or pennant as SPY made an all-time high, or the S&P 500. And we started to break
Mm-hmm.
out of that. You can see here. And normally when you have a pattern like this, you're going to get some retests, and usually buyers will step in and pick it back up here and then continue higher. But instead, because we had that bond market news or the lack of confidence in that news, we gap down. And the only time that you can really break a pattern like this, even though it's kind of small, is when you gap. And we did. So then you had to kind of look at it at a different side and say, okay, the bulls lost control here. Now let's see if the bears have control. And they did. So, like I just said, usually buyers would step in here, and that shows that the bulls are in control. The bears are in control right now because check this out. We gap down here, right here on this candle, and then
Mm-hmm.
check out how we wicked on the edge of that pennant. That is showing me that bears are in control. And we saw today another gap down. So it's small, but things are happening and they are abiding to the technical rules of who's in control. And the bears are in control right now. I think we're going to continue lower today.
It certainly feels like it. It certainly feels like it. What would be some of your downside levels you're watching?
Yeah. And in all fairness, we do have, for those of you that like to trade the volume profile, there is some thinness in this volume profile. Now, mind you, there is a gap. So this is kind of like right here. This is kind of fugazi. But this parabolic move higher gives us like a natural target of 762. I'm not saying that's going to happen today, but that's a logical target to hit with more selling pressure. 762. So like another 4 points in SPY in the next couple days.
Yeah, so that's where we'll start to maybe get a little bit of at least some dip buyers maybe trying to play around a little bit.
I think
If
so,
that
Mark.
level,
I mean, to be honest with look, I
yeah,
was on the show last week thinking, hey, I think that we're gonna just make slow moves to all-time highs.
yeah,
And
yep,
obviously, news trumps the charts, and this bond situation trumped the charts. So now we have to
hmm
just look at the technicals, and they are giving us some guidance here.
yeah, absolutely. So if that level broke, what would be your, where if things like got hairy, where would you see like the real buyers trying to put up a fight?
They would try to protect this gap here. So again, like
Hmm.
that's like 760, they would try to defend
Okay.
this. And I just don't know the severity of this selling. I don't know how like these news bombs, they take a long time to reveal themselves, and then they can also be very quick to be like, all right, everyone's over it. So I can't really predict that right now because that is what's controlling it, and the bond market is not my wheelhouse. So I need to just stay in my lane here and just trade the technicals.
There you go. Um, Triple Qs. A lot of overlap between the S&P, the Qs, SPY, and the Qs. Do you see anything different in the Q? I know those did not hit an all-time high, unlike SPY.
Same, it's the same, but the same pattern is here. We had a pennant, we broke out. We didn't even get to retest it. We gapped down below that buying area, and now they're abiding that sell point. So, I mean, the only thing I have on my screen, y'all, is the 40 period moving average, which I love to use. If I know it's not the 50, it's not the 30, it's the 40, it's the best. And that's the only kind of support that we have here. The Q's gap is very close, like 708. They will try to defend that as well. Should there be some more, like, should the market get spooked overnight, we have a very easy way to like start attacking this gap, and then we will have a big sell to like 700.
Yeah, it
Now, if
certainly
we
looks like
gap,
it.
yeah, if we gap, like if 9:30 tomorrow, if we're in this area whatsoever, there's no defense and we'll just fall. There's no defense there.
All right.
Ta-da!
Any other stocks you're watching very closely, or
Yeah,
any charts that you find interesting?
I am. So again, like while these are small moves, there's still some big moving stocks. Mark, I know you said I'm like the co-founder of Wiretap, but you're really leading that, and I'm a
Yeah.
member technically, right? I mean, I'm
Mm-hmm.
behind the scenes, but I just take the trades, and you have these interesting stocks. So, you know, basically, this one showed up on your radar out of nowhere, and
Mm-hmm.
what an awesome move up. While the market is getting smashed, this one has been moving up. I am watching Netflix. This is a
Mm-hmm.
big buy for me. I know that we're currently in that. We continue to buy this position in the close. I see another move up, and look, there's no gaps to fill. So this is a solid volume profile trade. For those of you out there in the Twitter sphere that are trading volume profile and you think that these thin zones are there, but there's actually gaps in the chart, you don't know what you're doing. Sorry. You need to look at real thin zones, which is right here. And this has an upside target of 87. I love this stock. And then another one that's on my radar is Apple. So I got a buy
Mm-hmm.
signal on Apple. I'm not like warm and fuzzy about trading Apple because usually when the market's lower, Apple will go up. When the market is up, Apple will go down. This one did have a buy signal, and you can look, here's your thin zone, but look at that. It's a fake thin zone because you have a gap here. So obviously there's not going to be volume over there. So I don't love this as a volume profile setup, but it is strong where it did move above the 40 period. And I did get a buy signal on my swing shots system.
Swing shots.
Swing
All right.
shots. Just a fun
So
word.
we got about 2 minutes for volume profile requests.
Okay. Give me some good ones.
Anybody got it? Let's get some volume profile requests in here.
Let's do
Kaz
it.
wants to look at Micron, MU.
Okay. All right. Micron. This is very messy. I don't really have anything on it. I would say that the stock looks strong, but I don't have any other thing to say about it.
All right. I got GE and HPE.
Ooh, okay, GE.
Oof.
Yeah. Hold on, let me just load this. Oh, yeah, look at that. You just broke resistance. I mean, sorry, you just broke support. This is not technically an M top because you want to have a lower high, but that's okay. Solid thin zone on the volume profile. We're looking at 344, and then they're going to try to defend this gap. So if you're looking to buy it, a logical point would be around 340.
All right. GE
And what
buying
was the other one?
340. HPE. Hewlett Packard Enterprises.
I've been getting a lot of requests on this. I don't know if there's
It's an
some sort
interesting
of
one. They're kind of like they're the if Dell is Lexus, they're Infinity for computers.
I like that. I don't have anything on HPE though, but it is on my watch list because a lot of members keep asking about it. There must be some sort of, I don't know, side story going on besides being an
Yeah.
Infinity.
All right, and here's what, Spiffy, we'll do Spiffy's last. She wants to look
Okay.
at AEHR.
Okay. Another crowd favorite.
Yeah.
The options are fun on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I see AEHR going a little lower, 97, and this is a very popular point where there will be defense buying. I like AEHR in the long run. Like I would hold this stock for
Mm-hmm.
the long haul. So if you want a dollar cost average or like look for a nice buy point, I'd rather do that than short it. I like it around 95 to go long.
All right. Well, if you're looking to go long and you like high beta, and we ahead of the announcement that the Treasury was trading, there was huge volume in TLT and calls. Shocker. It's almost like somebody knew that the Treasury was going to engage in bond market intervention. We've discovered a way to kind of get trade with these insiders. They leave a specific footprint. FIGR that Vaz was just showing you was one that showed up in what we call from one of our shadow traders. These are traders that have a specific pattern, but trade weekly so they stay off 13Fs. And we had a nice 84% win. I see some people did 100% on it in FIGR. The service is called Wiretaps. The trade is in on Monday, out by Friday. Today was in on Monday, out by Thursday. And we have won 4 of our last 5 trades, and the win rate is, around, off the top of my head, right around 80%. And I would love to have you guys join me in and Vaz as traders in Wiretaps. If you'd like to join, we've got a special offer for Wiretaps. You can join 6 months for a really nice price. Click the link. It's right here. Or you can call the team 888-872-3301. That's 888-872-3301. Join us in Wiretaps. And, Vaz, I will thank you for joining us this morning. I'm going to see you at the close at 3:00, as we do every day, for potential fuse. And we had a really fun bombshell yesterday.
And a fuse.
Yes, we had a great fuse. We had a great bombshell. So when you call my team to ask them about Wiretaps, ask them about if you haven't taken a trial with the close yet. See if they'll hook you up with a trial to join us at the close as well. All right, so we're up against it. I am going to be jumping into my Season of the Squeeze demo. So Vaz, thank you so much for joining us. What a great time with Olivia Vaz. You took her off a little early there. I mean, I was going to at least say goodbye, and it wasn't just like, turn her off. But Vaz, thanks for joining us. That was State of the Market. I am Mark Sebastian. I am your only option. I will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Click the link and join us. I'm going to be live in a second. We're going to roll credits so I can refill my water. And I will be right back with you guys. So thank you for joining me. And as always, thank you, Amin. Let's roll some goodbye credits. All right, everybody. We are back. Welcome to